In terms of Latin America, what are the first thoughts that come to your mind? Many people think of romance, art, music, but what people often don't think about are what countries are involved and what it's really like to live in these countries. Think about it. After asking a friend where he or she is from and you have no clue where it's at, aren't you the least bit curious to know more about the place? Up until now, you may have heard the word Nicaragua, but not many people know exactly where it's located or some interesting facts about it. At first, I was in your same boat. I heard the name, but I knew nothing about them. But because of the company I work for and they work directly with Nicaragua, I was able to research and I was interested. Since many of you don't know much about it, I'm here to inform you and the rest of my listeners about what I believe are the three most important characteristics of Nicaragua, which are its history, geography, and culture, and how it affects its citizens. First, I'm going to talk about its history. Many people ask, how did Nicaragua get so poor? It's a common question about most countries. Nearly every country in the world, outside of the 20 or so developed nations, has its own story on how they happened. The answer, unfortunately, is generally corruption. Nicaragua's story is not so different. Its ending, however, is full of hope. The name Nicaragua comes from the Nahadi-speaking tribe who originally inhabited the country. Their capital city was Nicaro. Later, when the Spanish arrived, they combined the name of the capital with the Spanish word for water, agua. Nicaragua limped through the 80s and 90s as various politicians tried, and with some success, but mostly failure and more corruption, to get the country back on its feet. The main source of work still remains agriculture and sweatshops. With education and healthcare more readily available, and for the services my company provides, such as sending surgical missions and surgeons and medical supplies to help increase them and able to help the health area and the health field, there's so much more hope for Nicaragua's future. Tourism, for example, has risen more than 70% in the last 10 years. As the country stabilized politically, people began to take notice of the stunning landscape and the history involved in Nicaragua, but also the problems connected to the country's poverty. Because of Nicaragua being one of the largest countries in Central America, it's slightly bigger than New York State. The country, it's bordered by Honduras in the north, Costa Rica in the south. The Pacific Ocean provides border to the west, and the eastern border of the country is the Caribbean Sea. Nicaragua has suffered disasters due to hurricanes, earthquakes, and volcanic activity. Nigerians can use the steam from the depths of the volcanoes, however, to use geothermal energy. But the biggest threats of the environment in Nicaragua are the deforestation, the social erosion, and the water pollution due to these volcanic activities and eruptions. Attached to my presentation, I have various pictures about the landscape, both beautiful and disastrous. But even through the country's hardship with the ways of the land, they've still been able to keep their spirits alive with their culture and their loving sense of festivities. Nicaragua, which means here united with the water. It's a sovereign state whose people love freedom and independence. The western region of the country was colonized by Spain, where the east was once a British nation with a culture like that of the Caribbean nations. Religion plays a huge role with the Nigerian culture. Religious freedom and tolerance are promoted both by government and the Constitution. There's no separation, unlike here in the U.S. Religious holidays are big, and meat there is very rare for them because of the rural areas that they live in. Just like here in the U.S., you probably eat meat every day for a meal. They only have it for celebrations. The mixture of Catholicism and native customs have resulted in a strong culture of fiestas based on their honoring of certain saints. The people of Nicaragua engage in annual festivities in their honor. The fiestas are a time of joy and fun and usually begin with a parade where the statue of the saint is displayed. Traditional dances, plays, and ceremonies can also be a part of these festivities. Rockets, firecrackers, explosions, drinking, and feasting add to all the excitement of what they do and what they enjoy. Unfortunately, The bad side of their culture is over 75% of the people living in Nicaragua live on less than $2 a day. 41% of Nicaragua's population live in rural areas. While Nicaragua's economy has been growing, many rural households are headed by women, who are among the poorest and most disadvantaged groups in rural Nicaragua. Poverty is huge here, but we can help. Also attached to my presentation is a brochure that I made personally for my company to show a little insight of Nicaragua and the services that can help make this place a better and more thriving community. The poverty in Nicaragua has caused extremely poor health conditions. HIV and AIDS has been a huge issue. There has been also many frequent reports of violence against women. Many organizations have been working to prevent the spread of HIV and AIDS and provide support for those who have it, and to empower women for their rights, for their freedom and their violence, and to empower the youth to encourage them to change their society. And that's what my company is all about. And that's why I'm here, to try to inform you guys how you can help and how you can make a difference. Even not working for a specific country, just to know about a country shows that you're educated and shows that you can help. Fortunately, the Nigerian economy has been growing substantially and has recently received a lot of attention, having grown 30% since 2006. It's been awesome. But despite all the good news, a considerable amount of work still needs to be done before we can fully reverse poverty in Nicaragua. Thank you for listening to my speech. I hope that I have provided enough information to help you guys want to support this cause. Thank you.